Awesome. Hey everyone, welcome if you're joining us at home. Welcome on into Sculpt. We've just got 10 minutes or so to get ready. So if you haven't done Sculpt before, Sculpt is a yoga Pilates weights fusion class. So a fantastic way to get into some of those muscle groups that are harder to access with body weight alone, as well as add intensity to moves that we normally do in yoga and enjoy some strengthening work for the abs, the legs, shoulders. So if you don't have any weights at home, don't worry, we've got time. So things I'd recommend is a couple of cans of beans or whatever else you have in a can. That works really well for little weights. It's about 0.5. So we're just adding a little bit of resistance. So I've got 1s, 2s and 3s here. The other thing that works really well is if you have two sort of like 500 milliliter water bottles and you fill those with water, they're about 0.6 kg and they're quite easy to hold. Obviously if you go larger with your bottles, so 2 wine bottles is about 1.2 kg each, don't drop them. So there's lots of different options available at home if you don't have any weights. You're also of course welcome to use it without the weights and just focus on that squeeze of the muscles. And I think that's about it really. If you have any other fun and inventive weight alternatives at home, send us a photo, let us know. Really keen to see what everyone else is up to. And yeah, so this is Sculpt 3. So this is a really nice sequence, one that I've really enjoyed. Got some nice flowing motions with the weights as well as some more rep-based movements with the weights. So you can view this on Facebook, on Periscope. The best quality place to view it is on our website. So that's www.rise.co.uk/online. It's their website's up on the screen there. Also on that webpage, you can become a virtual member and you can jump into our virtual studio. So that means I can see you, you can see me in another angle as well as the angles too here, and you also have access to all of our music. So what will happen if you jump into the virtual studio is you'll be in a waiting room first and then we'll just let you in. So that's just because we got Zoom bombed the other day, which was a hoot, but not ideal. So yeah, we had some rather weird material being screencast. So we're going to try and avoid that, so that's why we've got the waiting room. So apart from that, with our Sculpt class today, you'll just need really your mat. As always, if you like to have a strap or a block, feel free to grab one. And hey, we've got Matt joining us in the virtual studio. Hi Matt. Other things while we're waiting is we have got Heroes for Heroes on Saturday. So Chris and Jen will be donning their capes, and that class is raising money. Those two classes, Flex and Power, are raising money for the Children's Hospital charity, and just a way of showing. Okay, Chris has just tuned in to my earpiece, and everybody needs to wear a cloak. I'm going to recommend the use of a bin bag. I was going to see what sort of Batman type outfit I could create largely out of bin bags, having done an assessment of the clothes I have available. So yeah. Oh. So that's 9:30, 10:30 on Saturday. Check out our website or Facebook for all the deets. We also have an amazing workshop on gut health on Sunday. That's at 10 a.m. Also raising money for the Children's House charity. If you don't know much about gut health, this is the time. The gut health just basically does everything. I'm not the expert, which is why I'm not running the workshop, but it will be incredible. If you want to learn about gut health, this is the time. So that's on Zoom. Again, all the details online. We're also, at the moment, we are thinking about why do you love yoga? So let us know. all the little reasons. Why do you love it? Drop us a comment, send us a message on Facebook. I like yoga, mostly because it means I get to play with all sorts of lovely people as a job, which is just amazing and wonderful, and it's always fun. It gives me something to look forward to every day. So that's my favourite thing about yoga, more than anything, more than the physical stuff, is all the people really, and the laughing and the messing about. So that's what I love. But yeah, let us know what it's done for you, what you enjoy about it. Really keen to know. Right. Let's see. I need to admit some people into our virtual studio. I'm on it. We have now got the most amazing high-tech setup here in the studio with loads of screens and remote action. Oh, there we go, we're in. It's pretty exciting actually. Not really quite sure where the cameras are or which screens do what, but I can see you all, so that's good. So thanks for everyone who's joining. Hey, we've got Emily joining now. Hey Emily, you right? Boom. Becky, this is great. Full-on team in the house here. Fab. What else we got there? Message from Twi. Was born in a barn. To be fair, I kind of wish actually, so at the moment, if you're watching at home on Zoom, I have Chris and Jen giving me instructions through my earpiece here. And I kind of wish I had that for all of my life. In the sense, they're just like, it's just someone that, every time I get in the shower and just drop my towel on the floor, just says, don't do that, Rosie. Just pick it up. It'll make your life easier in the long run. You're not going to spend hours tidying up after yourself. That's what I need. A little remote control Jen in my ear all the time, making me be sensible. All right, we've got 3 minutes to get started. So, what have we got? I've just got a little news. This is good news stories while we're here. From the BBC News, just sent me a little alert saying 99-year-old army veteran Captain Tom Moore completes his 100th lap of the garden, raising 12 million for the NHS. Love that. I know, right? To be fair, 100 laps of my garden would be really quite unimpressive. That's probably about a mile max. It's a little bit of an incline, but wouldn't be that impressive. All right. I am really missing doing yoga about 1,000 times a week. It's definitely affecting my hamstrings. So it's good though, I've been managing to get a bit more in at home. A bit more of my own stuff. But I do miss everyone and all the classes. Oh, it's amazing, isn't it? It's kind of amazing though, equally, every time I basically, there's a lot of police out on the streets. I always feel like I must have done something horribly wrong constantly. I was going to Waitrose the other day and I was like, oh my God, look busy, I'm about to be told off. I have to explain myself. It's really bizarre. I will indeed feed the fish. I feel they might be lying to us all. They're doing that little hungry face thing when I know sometimes they've already been fed. Just that little, oh, I've not been fed yet face. They're getting pretty huge, Chris. Are they going to stay in that tank forever? Oh. Are they? My worry is that, are they going to start eating each other? Oh, we've got 20 seconds. Oh, gosh. Right. Bridie's waiting in the waiting room. Are you able to let her in, Chris? Oh, there we go. She's in. Awesome stuff. All right, guys. Let's get started. So, come on down and wide leg child's pose. So, thinking about bringing knees out wide. Just stretching out, deep, full breaths in and out. So knees out wide towards the edges of the mat. Big toes together, hips down towards the heels. Deep breaths into the back body, into the spine. Really full, deep inhales. And exhales here. So we're just taking some time to feel the breath in the body, start to find some heat in the body. Start to find some space in the lower back particularly. And just taking 3 more really deep breaths in and out here. Really deep, full inhales. And exhales. So feeling the shoulders relax. The jaw, the eyes, the face up. Taking 1 more really deep, full inhale. And exhale. And from there, grounding down with the hands, roll on up and finding your way to a table pose. So hands are underneath the shoulders, knees are underneath the hips. Thinking about spreading the fingers out wide, grounding down into the fingertips, into the second knuckle, drawing the abdominals tight in towards the spine. And from there, we're going to work cat-cow. So when you're ready, inhale, let the gaze lift, drawing the shoulders down, stretching out through the chest. And exhale, really press away, arch, squeezing the abdominals, lengthening out through the whole back body. Inhale, finding that lovely lift through the chest once again, drawing the shoulders back, stretching back. And exhale, squeeze the core, chin to chest, lengthening out through the whole back body, press, hands into mat. 1 more time, inhaling, opening up, finding that lovely stretch through the chest. And exhale, tuck the toes, press the hips all the way towards the back of the room, finding a downward facing dog. So first down dog of the day perhaps, so just give it a little pedal out, a little shake out, have a little play. So remember, downward facing dog, the fingertips are grounded down, almost like you're gripping the mat. Make sure the pointer finger is facing forwards. So the hands are either facing forwards or with a slight external rotation. Thinking about pressing the hands really hard into the mat. Maybe you can have a bend in the knees if you need to. We're starting to find a length through the whole back body. So the hips extend high. We're stretching, reaching out from the tailbone all the way to the tip of the neck. From there, try and open out the back body. So if you sort of imagine you're drawing those elbows in towards each other, squeezing in the upper arms, you should feel the shoulder blades fan out across the back. Strong through the core, maybe a little pedal out through the legs, downward facing dog. We're opening up space in the whole of the back body, from the calves to the hammies, the lower back. We're finding strength in the abs and the arms, letting the spine decompress, the head relax. Take a deep inhale, exhale, 1 more time, deep breath in. And from there, walking the feet towards the hands, finding your way into a floppy forward fold. So a little shake, a little wiggle. If you want to take 1 hand in one elbow, 1 in the other, that can be nice. Just letting the whole back body release. Thinking about moving the weight into the toes slightly, bending the knees if you need to, while lifting the hips up high and letting the whole of the back line of the body release. The shoulders release. Deep inhales. Exhales. 1 more breath here. Inhale. Exhale. From there, release the hands, engage the core and start to ripple and roll up vertebra by vertebra all the way up to a comfortable standing position. So thinking about grounding down with the feet, engaging the glutes, shoulders down the back, long spine. And when you're ready, let's start to flow. Just a little warm up without the weights to start. Inhale, lifting tall, stretching up, shoulders down the back. Exhale, swan dive, folding forwards, bending the knees if you need to, hands flat and head drops. On an inhale, float up high on the fingertips, finding a long flat back, stretching out, reaching out long. Exhale, fold, plant the hands, hop, step, jump, find your way to plank. So remember, we're finding that connection with the floor, make sure the weight is evenly distributed between the hands. Pressing really hard with the hands into the mat, squeezing in the abdominals. Toes are grounded, one long line, right down the back body, pressing the hands as hard as you can into the mat, activating the muscles of the upper back. Holding here, focusing on that breath, making sure the wrists are underneath the shoulders for 3. Try and keep the bum down here to work the abs a little harder. 2. Awesome, one more, inhale. And exhale, use the toes to move the body weight forward so the shoulders move past the wrists, bend through the elbows, lowering into low plank. Rolling onto the tops of the feet, squeezing the glutes, let the chest sweep up between the arms, shoulders down the back, up dog, inhale. And exhale, roll your way back, stretch your way back to a downward facing dog. Feel free to adjust the distance between hands and feet if you need to. Reset the dog. Inhale, power and lift those hips up high. Once again, just focusing on that length and stretch down the back body. Inhale. Exhale, shoulders relax, head relaxes. One more breath here. Deep inhale. Exhale. Bending the knees, hop to hands, walk if you need to. Inhale, long flat back, stretching out, shoulders back. Exhale, fold. Grounding down with the feet, reach and rise, lift, extend. Inhale, tall. And exhale, swan diving straight back down. Inhale for that long flat back, shoulders back, stretching out through hamstrings, lower back. And once again, plant the hands, hop, step, jump, finding your way to a plank position. Hands under the shoulders, strong through the core. From there, we're once again use the body weight, use the toes, move the body weight forwards. Lower through low plank. If you're finding that's too much, you can drop to the knees, and we're going to again let the rib cage lower down to meet the elbows. Rolling onto the tops of the feet, squeezing the glutes, shoulders down the back, up dog, and exhale your way to a downward facing dog. So finding your way into down dog, starting to build some heat and space in the body. Left foot grounds, right foot lifts to the sky, engage that right glute, press the hands into the mat. Inhale there, exhale, drive knee to nose, squeezing in the abs. Inhale, reaching up toward that right foot, and drive knee to nose. One more time, inhale, lift, exhale, drive. Right foot down, left foot up, left foot high, squeeze that left glute, and drive knee to nose. Inhale, lift and stretch. Drive on in, knee to nose. One more time, inhale. Exhale. Left foot meets right. And from there, we're going to bend the knees, take a hop ball step towards the hands. Inhale, finding our long flat back, stretching out. Exhale to fold. Grounding down with the feet, reach and rise, lift, inhale high. Exhale the hands to heart center. So just make sure you've got a bit of space in front of you, behind you. We're just going to take a nice little dynamic moving balance to warm up the legs. Right foot is going to ground. We're going to take the left knee up in front of us. Taking the right hand to the left knee, the left hand out behind you. Engaging the muscles of that standing leg. Holding there for 3. Deep breaths in and out. So we're taking a little twist through the spine. 2. And 1. Hands to heart center. Extend the left foot out behind you. Seesawing forwards just as much as you can. Keeping that left hip steering down. Strong through the back of that left leg. Really point the toes. 3. 2. And 1. Lift up. Left knee lifts. Taking the left hand to the left knee. So we're pressing the left knee away from the body. The right hand extends. A little opening through the hips. Keep the core engaged. 3. 2. And 1. Back to warrior 3. So we're extending that left foot out behind us into a T-shaped balance. Stretching out long, steering the hips to the mat. 3. Perfect. Really squeeze that left glute. 2. And 1. Right hand to left knee. Left hand behind you. Back into that starting twist. 3. 2. And 1. Back into warrior 3. Stretching out, final time. Ground down. Find that lovely length. 3. So we're stretching out. 2. And 1. Left hand to left knee. Right hand presses away. So we're opening out through the hips, finding that little balance. Almost there. 3, 2, 1. Nice work. Left foot down. And we'll take that on the other side. So grounding down, big toe, little toe, heel. Find the activity through the left toes. Right knee's going to lift, and starting off with that little twisted balance. Left hand to right knee, right hand behind us. Opening up through the chest, lengthening through the spine. Deep breaths in and out. 3. Oh, I'm going. 2. And 1. Hands to heart center, stretching out long. Thinking about those right toes pointing out behind us. Thinking about extending forwards. If you're more at a 45-degree angle, no worries. We're just aiming to find that sense of length from toes to head. 3. Strong through the core, stretching out. 2. And 1. Lifting up, taking the right hand to the right knee, the left hand out to the side. So we're opening out through the hip. Make sure the bum is tucked under, the core is engaged. 3. Stretching out, deep breaths in and out. 2. Awesome, you got this. 1. Back to warrior 3. So back to that T-shaped balance, stretching forward, steering the hips. Maybe starting to find a little bit of space in the back of the right hamstring. Lengthening out there. 3. Really long through the body. 2. 1. Awesome. Back into that twist. Left hand to right knee, right hand behind you, stretching out through the front side of the chest for 3. Long spine. 2. And 1. And back again, steering the hips, squaring that hip. We're almost there. Final little push. 3. 2. 1. Come on up. And take your right hand to your right knee, your left hand out to the side. Find that final little balance. 3. 2. 1. All right, nice work. Give yourself a little shake out. And from here, we're going to move into our first little weighted block. So this is particularly getting into the legs, as well as the abdominals and the back. So you might want to take your heavier weights here if you do have an option. We're working some of those big muscle groups where we tend to be able to take slightly heavier weights. So starting off, we're going to find our way into a chair pose. So knees are over the ankles, shoulders down the back. Think about actively squeezing the shoulders back. So almost like you're drawing the shoulders down the back. You should feel the collarbones fan out. From there, we're going to take a suitcase deadlift. So here we are in a chair. We're just going to lower the legs, and then we're going to lift up. So we're going to slowly lower and lift. So if you can, we're going to only come up halfway. We're really going to work into the lower body here. So you want to keep the spine straight, the core engaged. If you're not lowering all the way to the floor, no worries. We're just finding that sense. So this is called a suitcase deadlift. So think about you're lifting and lowering an old school suitcase. Shoulders down the back, squeezing in the core. So you should start to feel some heat coming into the legs here, getting into the quads, into the glutes. Notice which muscles are being engaged. Think about that strength in the core. Make sure the butt stays sticking out behind you. Make sure the knees are stabilizing over the ankles. Perfect. Working here. 5. Squeeze. 4. Well done. So a little lower. And lift. 3. Oh, definitely starting to feel that burn. 2. 1 more. And come on up there. So from there, we're going to find our way back into a chair pose. And then we're going to extend the legs just a little bit. Move the body weight forward. So we're moving into a bent over row here. So slight bend in the knees, strong through the core. We're going to glide the elbows past the rib cage, squeezing them together, feeling that power in the upper back, and lower down. So squeezing to lift and lower. So we're taking a bent over row, makes it a little bit harder work. We're thinking about keeping the core engaged, the spine long. If you need to come up at any point and work from standing, feel free. So just keep listening to your body. We're thinking about squeezing past and lowering with control. Really strong through the core. Thinking about activating the muscles at the upper back here. So this little exercise is really fantastic if you struggle with your shoulders, particularly your shoulders creeping forwards or up to the ears. Really strong, powerful movement working here for 5. So we're going to go back into the lower body after this. 4. Well done. Squeeze the core. 3, 2, and 1. Come all the way up to standing. So we're going to move into a straight leg deadlift. So feet are hip distance apart. Legs are going to be straight, but you don't lock out the knees. So we've still got a sense of slight bend available in the knees. Palms are facing to the thighs, engaging the core. We're going to take a straight leg deadlift. So we're sticking the bum out behind us, keeping the spine long, and then we're going to squeeze the core, glide on up, floating up onto the toes, calf raise if you're feeling it. So if you have a look on my back, what we're aiming to do is just lower and lift as far as you can. If you need to, take a little bend in the knees, feel free. What we're aiming to do here is get into the hamstrings, particularly on the way down. You get a nice little stretch there, and then we're going to strengthen shoulders down the back, and we're going to squeeze the core at the top. So a little bit of balance work as well. Awesome. So lifting and lowering. Definitely probably one of my favourite weighted exercises. It's really nice to get space in the body as we strengthen. So remember, don't let the shoulder blades creep apart, don't let the shoulders turn in. Keep that sense of control through the back body. Working here for 5, so slow and controlled. 4, well done. Floating up, squeeze through. 2, and 1, nice work. All right, from here we're going to move into a little compound exercise. So you really want to focus on strengthening the core and the abs here. So we're going to lean forwards again. So we're back into that bent over row that we did before. So remember, the core is engaged, really squeezing the abs here. Slight bend of the knees, body is moving forwards. We're going to squeeze the elbows into a row. We're then going to hinge at the hips. You really work the abs there. And then we're going to press up to the sky. We're going to return back, elbows into rib cage, hinge at the hips, lower and row, squeeze the core, hinging at the hips, pressing up. So this hinging at the hips motion, this little hinging exercise, is just as important as either the row or the press. So these hinging exercises are a really fantastic way to get into the glutes, abs and lower back. So really make sure the core is firing. So taking that row, that's getting into the upper back. We're taking a hinge, working abs, glutes. We're taking a shoulder press at the top, working the shoulders. So nice little compound exercise. We're targeting loads of muscle groups. Thinking about working with control here. So really want to maintain that same control that we'd have in Pilates or yoga as we work the weight. So we're not aiming for speed, we're aiming for control. Thinking about when you press up, the shoulders staying down. Perfect. Thinking about that posture. Working here, another 5. A little lower. And lift 4. Nice. Squeezing in the core. 3. 2. And 1. Perfect. Weights to the heart. We're going to take the feet slightly out here, so the toes are turning out. The core is engaged. Weights at the heart. We're going to take a little goblet squat. So we're just going to sink down, lower the hips, and then power back up. So slow, lower, little weighted squat, and squeeze the glutes, lift. If you want to make this harder, you can take a little triple pulse at the bottom, and then squeeze on up. Remember, you want to make sure that when you look down, the knees are tracking over the ankles. What you want to avoid is the knees moving forwards. So if that means that you can't get the same depth, no worries. Just come down to that point where you've got that control, almost like you're pressing the knees outwards. You've got that strong glute engagement, and we're keeping the chest lifted. So keeping the shoulders back, the chest lifted. Perfect. Working here for 5. A little compound exercise after this. 4. Squeezing to lift. 3. Well done, you got this. 2. And 1. Perfect. So turn the feet back in. We're back into that bent over row. So thinking about that strong core. So this exercise we're going to work into the upper back again. So back into that same position. We're going to take a row. So squeezing the shoulder blades together. We're going to hinge up. From there, we're going to keep the elbows in and press the hands away. You should feel like a really strong stretch of the chest to keep the core engaged. Return to that starting position. Hinge, and we're taking a row. So you're feeling that row, particularly in the muscles of the upper back. Come on up, feel the core engaged. Squeezing the shoulder blades together. So more into the middle of the back there. And back again. So this is a little exercise called dumb waiter. Again, we're focusing on that stability in the muscles of the upper back. We're aiming to target these muscle groups that help draw the shoulders down and back. Often we, through everyday life, end up with quite strong forward movement through the shoulders. So when we're at a computer or driving, we end up with this rounding and this reaching forward motion. So we can end up with imbalances in the body. So that's what we're trying to undo today. So squeezing the shoulder blades together, hinging at the hips, just keeping the elbows tucked in as you draw away. Perfect. Working here for 5. So this is the final one of this block. We're going to move up to our little warrior sequence next. 4. Well done. 3, squeeze, hinge, lift. Remember the glutes and the abs are working that hinge. 2. And 1, release. Perfect. From there, set your weights down. And we're just going to take a quick little flow. So plant the hands, step back, jump back, find your way to plank. So a little bit of a reset here. So back into plank, using the toes to move the body weight forwards, bend through the elbows, rib cage to the elbows, low plank. Inhale, hips drop, shoulders down the back, finding a little back bend. Inhale, and exhale your way back to a downward facing dog. So thinking about the fingers spreading out really wide, grinding down into the fingertips, into the second knuckle. Hips are extending as high as you can, head is relaxing, shoulders are relaxing down the back. Taking a deep breath in, and 1 more breath. Inhale, exhale. From there, bending the knees, looking to the hands, hop, step, jump. Find your way back to the front of your mat. Inhale, long, flat back. Exhale to fold. All right, from here, we are going to move a lot into the shoulders and take some more dynamic movement. So you might want to take some slightly lighter weights for this. I'm going to take my lightest ones. So finding your way up to the front of your mat, maybe with your slightly lighter weights, or stick with what you've got, up to you. So we're going to take the weights to the heart. We're going to step back with the left foot. So we're coming into a warrior 2. The right foot is facing forwards, the left foot is facing to the long side of the mat. So coming into warrior 2, and then we're going to take the arms out wide. So warrior 2, right foot is facing forwards. Remember, it's a hip opening pose. You want to feel that really strong, powerful movement through the legs. So pressing into the outer edge of the left foot, and the right knee is slightly moving back. Engaging the core, lifting up through the tummy, tucking the pelvis, arms are out wide. From there, we're going to take lateral lift. So we're going to lower and lift the arms. Try not to rush it. Try to keep that extension through the arms, focusing on control. Nice. So slow lowers and lifts. We're getting into the shoulders here. So deep breaths in and out. So slow, controlled movements. Thinking about that strength in the abs. Well done, nice work. So slowly lowering and lifting, keeping the core engaged. Try not to let the shoulders tense up. If you need to, lose the weights here. Working here, so a really nice toning exercise for the upper arms. Maintaining that lunge in the legs. 4, 3, well done, we got this. 2, and 1. All right, from there we're going to take the weights to the heart. We're going to drop the weight of the body down towards that back left leg. So we're either coming into a half lunge here, or if it's available to you, coming all the way into a little skandasana, left knee forwards. From there, we're going to power all the way back to warrior 2. So we're going to move that transition. So I'm just going to take it to a half skandasana. You could take it to a full one if you've got that mobility. So warrior 2, then we're going to move the weight over into that left foot, find that stretch, and then we're going to power open. So it's that little side lunge that we sometimes take in Pilates. We're going to turn the right toes to the long side of the mat, sink down to the left, and then you're really focusing on power through the legs as you move back to warrior 2. The arms are moving from heart center in the sideways lunge all the way into that lateral lift. So again, we're continuing to work that lateral lift type movement. Getting some lovely mobility work through the body, stretching into the legs. Nice. Working here. So take it slow if you need to. Feel into your body. 4. Well done, you're doing great. Great. 3, 2, and 1. Well done. Nice. Lose your weights. Turn on the left toes. Left hand is going to plant. Right hand is going to stream up to the sky. So we're taking a twisted lunge. Releasing through the legs. If you need to drop that back knee down, feel free. We're aiming to find space down the front of this left leg through the left hip flexor, grounding down with both feet and starting to rotate, stretching the heart to the sky. The left heel presses backwards so you can really activate the muscles of that back leg. Inhaling, exhaling, perfect. 3, deep breaths in, and out. 2, 1 more, inhale, and exhale. Right hand plants, right foot meets left. Spread the fingers wide, engage the core. Use the body weight, move the body weight forwards. Bend through the elbows, knees down if you need to. Inhale, up dog, shoulders down the back, stretch out through the chest. And exhale back, downward facing dog. Take a moment, deep breaths in. And out, we're going to take that all on the other side. Hips are high, spine is long, full breaths in and out for 3. Inhale, exhale 2. And 1, bending the knees, hop to hands. Inhale, find that long flat back, stretch. Exhale to fold. So grabbing your weights again and taking your weights to heart. Left foot forwards, right foot stepping back. So we're finding our warrior 2 legs again. So remember, you want the left knee snacking over left ankle. You want heel to inner arch alignment. Powering into the outer edge of that right foot. We're opening the hips and hearts to face alongside of the mat while maintaining that left knee over left ankle. When you're ready, arms can come out in line with the shoulders. Make sure you keep that energy in the legs. So we're working out the body here particularly, but keep up that sense of pressing the right foot backwards and letting that left knee move forwards. When you're ready, lateral lifts. So we're lowering and lifting. So you want to feel control here. So we're not dropping the weights, but we're lowering the weights. You really want to feel that activity through the arms, that sense of extending out. So you're really powering into the arms, lowering and lifting, keeping the shoulders down, keeping the core engaged. Well done. So little lowers and lifts. Keeping that spine long. Remember to breathe. Hang on in there. Now, my arms are definitely starting to feel this. Working here for 5. Deep breaths in and out. 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, weights to heart center. We're going to take that same flow. So we're going to turn the left toes, rock down onto the right. You can either bring that right knee all the way forward, so left toes to the sky if you've got that mobility, and then we're going to press back up to warrior 2, or you can turn left toes in, bend that right knee, and just come into that lateral lunge. So I'm just going to work that lateral lunge, but feel free to take it deeper. So we're going to inhale and exhale, sink down low. So we're stretching into the inside of that left leg, and we're finding that power through the legs, the glutes as we extend. We're continuing to work the arms, work the shoulders. So take it your own pace here. This is a strong compound movement. We're getting loads of work through the whole of the body. So take it slow, take it easy. Work at your level. Find that control. Perfect, really nice. Going to work here for another 5. So a little sink down. Finding that dynamic control, that dynamic movement. 4. Nice work. 3. Almost there, hanging in there. 2. 1 more if you can, little sink down low. And extend, warrior 2. Amazing. Alright, from there, lose the weights. Adjust the feet. Right hand is going to plant on the left inner arch, and left hand is going to reach up to the sky. So we're in a twisted lunge again. You can drop that back knee down if you need to. We're thinking about powering both feet into the mat. Really lift, 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 opening out through the heart. Drawing the shoulders down the back. Inhaling, exhaling, strong and active. Bring that stretch down the outside of the left leg. Deep breaths in and out for 3. Full steady breaths. 2. 1 more, inhale and exhale. Plant the hands, find plank. Using the toes, move the body weight forwards. Start to bend through the elbows into a low plank. Rolling onto the tops of the feet, squeeze the glutes, shoulders down the back, up dog. Exhale back to downward facing dog. Hips are high, spine is long, stretching out through the back body. Inhaling. Exhale. Just taking a moment, having a deep breath in. And out. From there, bend the knees, hop to hands. Inhale, find a long flat back, stretch. Exhale to fold. All right, so once again, we're going to grab our weights while we're down here. Might want to move into, we're going to be taking some lower body work and also some upper body work. So either some lighter weights or heavier weights. We're going to be taking a full can. We're going to take them around the world. So just finding some weights that would work for you in that motion. From there, we're going to step out wide into a goddess pose. So stepping out to the left side of the mat, both toes are turning out. We're sinking low with the hips. So make sure the knees are tracking over the ankles, squeezing in the core. If that doesn't work for you at all, just take a standing position. So make sure there's no pain in the knees are moving outwards. The palms are facing towards the left side of the mat. They're going to slightly move forwards, and then we're going to draw 2 semicircles in the air. So we're taking these two little semicircles. So around the world, a really great strengthening exercise for the muscles of the back, getting into the rotator cuff. So slowly lowering and lifting. So don't feel like you have to push it. Thinking about the shoulders staying down. If you can't bring the hands all the way up, no worries. Thinking about sinking low with the legs, squeezing the core. We're getting loads of work for the glutes as well here. Working here for 5. So strong controlled movements. 4. Well done. 3. Extend. 2. And 1. Bring the weight to the heart, turn both toes in, and we're just going to hinge at the hips and take a nice and easy floppy forward fold. So moving the weight into the toes, engaging the core to stretch out the spine. Inhale and exhale, head and shoulders are going to release there. Full breaths in and out. Nice work. So just finding space down the back of the legs for 3. Inhaling. Exhaling. 2. 1 more deep breath in. And from there, rotate the right toes towards the front of the mat, spinning on the left toes and dropping the left knee down. So we're finding our way into a lizard. Right knee is over right ankle, left knee is grounded. Hands are on the inside of the right foot. So we're just going to take a little flowing lizard here. So inhale, chest forwards, hips sink low. Exhale, stretching back, finding space in that right hamstring. A little bit of dynamic stretching. Inhale, reaching forwards, left hip moves forwards. Exhale, stretching back, releasing. 1 more time. Inhale, moving forward, shoulders back, and exhale, stretch. From there, moving forwards, tucking the toes, step back, down dog. Little pedal out, little shake out for 3. Inhale. Exhale, 2. 1 more deep breath in. And from there, bend the knees, hop to hands. Inhale, find a long flat back, stretch. Exhale to fold. Grabbing your weights while you're down there and coming up to standing. We're going to take our goddess pose on the other side. So we are now facing the right side of the mat. Once again, toes are going to turn out. Weights to the heart center. And we're going to take a wide sumo squat here. So toes are facing out. We're going to sink the hips down low, sinking down into a horse riding stance. And we're just going to hold there. We're just going to pulse if you can. So we take a wider leg squat at the very beginning of the class. We're taking it even wider now. Working into the glutes, into the hips, thinking about making sure the knees are tracking towards the ankles, the hips, sitting down, the sit bones, keeping the chest lifted. Squeeze the glutes, working here. If that's not working for you, you can just hold here with the legs straight. So thinking about sinking down, strong through the core, deep breaths in, and out, working into those legs. 5, lower body, shoulders back, keep the core engaged. 4, well, the little pulses. 3, 2, feel that burn, inner thighs are on fire, hanging in there, and 1, press on up, turn both big toes in, ooh, and fold forwards, stretching forwards. You can lose the weights there, just letting the hips lift high and the body stretch down, release down, deep breaths in, and so it might be nice here to interlock the hands behind you, squeeze the heels of the hands together, let the hands tumble out over the head, make sure the shoulder blades are squeezing together. We're just finding this lovely stretch down the back body, through the lower back, and you can open out through the chest by taking this little hand variation. No worries if it doesn't work for you. Lengthening out long, inhale, exhale, stretch for 3, long through the spine, reaching out, 2, 1 more, inhale, exhale. Release the arms there. We're going to rotate. Left knee is over left ankle, left foot on the left side of the mat, right knee down. So we're finding our little lizard pose on the other side. Inhale, dropping the hips forward, shoulders back, and exhale, stretching back into that left hamstring. Inhaling forwards, reaching forward, shoulders back, stretching out through the chest, and exhale, lovely stretch into that left hamstring. 1 more time. Inhale forwards, releasing into that right hip flexor. Exhale, stretching back, nice work. Inhale forwards, tuck the toes, step back, downward facing dog, hips up high, little pedal, little shake, inhale, lift, lift, lift. Exhale, finally, little release. 1 more breath in, deep breath in. And From there, dropping to the knees, and we are coming down to take a little bit of more upper body work. So starting off, we are going to take our left foot forwards and our right knee back. So we're coming into a low lunge. Right foot forwards, left knee back, right knee is over right ankle, we're sinking forwards with the hips. From there, we're getting a lovely stretch down the left hip flexor. If this doesn't feel good for you, come to full kneeling. So not everyone likes these kneeling lunges, in which case come to a full kneeling position. Take your weights, you might want some slightly heavier ones here. We're going to take a high to low row, so we're going to extend the weights to the sky. So they're at a 45 degree or so out in front of you, and then we're going to squeeze back, feeling those shoulder blades squeeze together, elbows are tucked in. So we're going to extend away, keeping the elbows tucked in, and then squeeze back. So we took some rows from standing earlier, now we're taking the opposite direction, so we're getting work for the shoulders as we press, and then we're squeezing back, nice. Thinking about extending, we're getting work into the hips as well here, getting a lovely hip flexor stretch. Squeezing back, keeping the core engaged, working here for 5. Deep breath in, and out, squeeze it back, 4. Well done, press, squeeze in, 3, 2, 1, and release there. So from there, we're going to take the right knee back to meet left. We're going to take the weights to heart center. From there, we're going to take what we like to call our little zombie camel. So we're going to squeeze the glutes, lean back, and then we're going to power back up using the core. So I find these really, really hard. So you're just finding that movement backwards and squeezing to lift. So just work at your level. Don't feel like you have to push. Does require quite a lot of quad and ab strength. Working here for 5. So a little lean back and movement forwards, 4. Well done. So strong work for the abs, the glutes, 3. Nice. 2. And 1. Nice. From there, we're going to take the left foot forwards. The right knee is back. So we're back into that low lunge on the second side. So again, if you prefer to take kneeling or take some padding on the knees, feel free. Left knee over left ankle, right knee is grounded. We're stretching into the right hip flexor as we lean the body weight forwards. So thinking about strengthening the abs, left knee forwards, right foot back, high to low. So arms out in front of you, and then we're going to squeeze it back. So thinking about pressing away and squeezing the shoulder blades together. We're really focusing on power there, working into the shoulders, into the back body. Nice work. So really strong and controlled. Fantastic work. This is our final little bit of upper body work. We're going to move into some stretching next and then into abs. 5. So squeezing the shoulder blades together. 4. So driving back. Really focusing on that power. 3. Press away. 2. 1 more. And release. Well done. So release your weights there. Find your way back to a kneeling position. Just place your weights out of the way and we're going to take a lovely shoulder stretch. Left hand planks, right hand lifts, inhale. Exhale, the right shoulder comes down to the mat, the left hand walks out in front of you. So we're just stretching into that right shoulder. Inhaling. Exhaling, finding that lovely space in the right shoulder. Deep breaths into that right shoulder, in and out. Little stretch there for 3, inhale. Exhale, 2. 1 more deep breath in. And out. Coming back to center. Right hand's going to plant, left hand lifts, inhale. And exhale, the left shoulder down onto the mat, the right hand walks out in front of you. Left ear can come down to the mat. We're just taking a little stretch out through the spine, through the left shoulder. Deep, full breaths in. And out for 3, inhaling. Exhaling, so lovely stretch the shoulders, work the upper body really hard. 2. 1 more, inhale. And exhale, come back to table pose. Take a little pigeon there, so left knee behind the left wrist, looking over your right shoulder, checking the right knee, ankle, hip are in alignment, and then we're just going to fold forwards. So we're aiming to find a lovely stretch down the back of the left leg. We've worked the legs really hard. If that's not working for you, you can take the right knee right around into a spiral leg and take an animal pose instead. So if that right leg is extended, make sure knee, ankle, hip is in alignment. If you've got not any pain in the knee, finding that lovely stretch through the back of the left leg. Working here. Really deep breaths in. And out. Nice work for 3. Inhaling. Exhaling, well done. Shoulders relaxing, stretching out. 2. One more, inhale. And exhale. Sweeping the right foot all the way around, planting it over the left knee. If that's not available to you, you can extend this left foot out. So either straightening that left leg or having it bent. We're taking a spinal twist. Right foot grounds, inhale, reaching up. Right hand is going to plant behind you. We're hugging the left hand around the right knee, keeping both sit bones grounded. Rounding down with the right big toe, lifting up, a little stretch. Maybe feeling a little bit of space coming to the outside of the right leg, lengthening the spine. Deep breaths in. And perfect. One more inhale. Exhale. Returning through center there, rocking back into the table. And we're just taking a quick little pigeon on the other side. So right knee behind right wrist. Sliding your left knee, ankle, hips out behind you. And focusing on finding that lovely length from toes to head. Shoulders are relaxing, spine extending, full steady breaths in. And so we're finding that lovely sense of stretch right down through the back body, the shoulders releasing down, finding space, finding the breath, inhaling. Excellent. Remember, you can take that animal alternative if you need to, whatever works for you. Deep breaths in and out. See if you let the head and the shoulders relax. Working here for another 3. Inhaling. Exhale. 2. One more deep breath in. And out. Perfect. From there, walking the hands up, sweeping the left foot all the way around over the right knee. Grounding down with that right foot. Inhale, lifting up and taking the left hand out behind you. So we're taking a little spinal twist on the other side. Thinking about grounding down with the right big toe. Inhale, lift, lift, lift. Shoulders back, stretch. Exhaling into that twist. So finding a lovely stretch right down the outside of this left leg. Inhale and exhale to twist. Shoulders back, stretching out through the spine. Full steady breaths in. And out there, well done for 3. So just a little bit of release. 2. Well done, one more, inhale. And exhale, unravel there. So from there we're going to extend both legs out in front of you. And we are going to move into some abdominal work. So find a little push of our abs. So coming down onto your lower back. From here, we're just going to take the weights and we're going to hook them between the calves and the back of the thighs. So we're just finding this little hook. You can lose the weights at this point and work without the weights. So from here, we're going to take a pelvic roll. If you've done Pilates before, you'll recognize this. We're going to squeeze the elbows to lift the pelvis off the mat, slowly lower down. What we're doing here is we're just using the weights to add intensity, but this is an intense exercise without the weights. So if you'd like to lose the weights at this point, feel free. We're just squeezing to lift and lower. So as the abdominals contract, that lifts the top of the pelvis off the mat, and we're slowly lowering and lifting with control. Try to lift with power and lower with power. So we're getting the abdominals to lift the whole weight of the lower body in this exercise. And if we've added in the weights, we're just adding in a little bit of extra work for the abdominals. So a really great way to get into those lower abs. Really nice and low impact option as well. You can relax the upper body and just focus on that abdominal isolation. Nice work. Squeezing to lift, slowly lowering down. Perfect. Working here for 5. So slow and controlled. Really feel that power through the abs. 4. Well done. 3. 2. And 1. From there, we're going to take the weights to the sky. Press the weights to the sky, shoulders down the back. We're going to point the toes to the sky. From there, we're going to take chin to chest, and we're going to squeeze, press the weights up towards the toes, little half curl, and then we're going to lower the legs. So leg lower combo with a little curl squeeze and lower both legs. If you find this is too much for the neck, just take those leg lowers. You can lose the weights as well. Remember, if you're lowering the legs, you only lower the legs as far as you can keep control. Squeezing the core to lift and then lowering. So we're taking a little half curl, really powering the abs as we lift, and then lower legs, getting into the lower abs. You can miss out either side of this movement. If you want to take a bend in the knees, you're very welcome to. Just keep listening to your body. We want to focus on that abdominal strength. We don't want to feel any strain. We want to feel a nice juicy burn. Working here for 5, squeezing in the core, perfect. 4, getting some nice work for the upper body as well here. 3, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. 2, nice. Squeeze and press, 1, and release. Oh my, so put your weights out of the way. Left foot is extending. And we're going to hug the right knee in. Take the left hand to the right knee and just draw that right knee across the chest, extending away with the right arm. So you're finding a lovely stretch from right hand to right knee. Deep breaths in. And so letting that right shoulder relax, breathing into the outside of the right leg for 3. Inhale. Exhale. 2. 1 more, inhale. And exhale, transition. Right foot extends, hugging in with the left knee, and take a little twist. So the left hand is extending, the left knee is extending. We're stretching out fully right through the spine. Inhale. And exhaling, let that left shoulder relax, that left knee relax, deep breaths in. And out for 3. Inhaling. Exhaling, 2. 1 more, inhale. And exhale, release. Give yourself a little squeeze, a little stretch. And from there, take a happy baby. Peace sign fingers around the big toes. Knees in towards the armpits. Have a little wiggle, a little stretch. Pressing the whole of the lower back down towards the floor. Releasing through the hips for 3. Inhale. Exhale, 2. And 1. From there, we're going to rock all the way up to seated. Any comfortable position where you can sit up, so kneeling on a brick, whatever you like to do. Awesome stuff. Just a few little stretches for the shoulders. So interlock the hands, press the hands up to the sky while you draw the shoulders down. Take a lovely stretch there, deep breath in. And turning the backs of the hands towards the front of the room, chin to chest and rounding through the spine. Finding a lovely stretch for the upper back. So feel the shoulder blades draw down and apart, stretching out, deep breath in. And out. Lifting forwards, interlocking the hands, squeezing the shoulder blades together, stretch forwards, draw the chest open for 3, inhale, exhaling 2, and 1. From there, take those interlocked hands over to the right hip, inhale, and exhale, drop the right ear down towards that right hip, so we're stretching out down the left side of the neck for 3, 2, 1, and taking that to the other side, so hands back, left hand to left, inhale, and exhale the left ear down. So we're stretching out there for 3. Deep breaths in and out. 2 down the right side of the neck. And 1. Come through centre. Have a little squeeze, a little wiggle. And thank you all so much for joining. Namaste. Well done, team. Nice work, gang at home. I really enjoyed the wine bottles, Emily. It's just lots of the moves. It looked like you were just about to go for a comedy glug. When I do it with wine bottles, it's quite strong on the hands as well. You have to have quite a lot of grip strength.